Alright, sorry about that. After a brief delay, we're back in playing Sid Meier's most recent game, Beyond Earth, which is actually a redesign of what I originally was playing, Alpha Centauri. Unfortunately, Alpha Centauri was not compatible with our streaming software, so I was told that we need to switch to something different. So this game, because of its relation to Alpha Centauri, holds a lot of sentimental value to me. I'm still getting into it. It just was released yesterday, which is kind of cool, just in time for our fundraiser. Alright, so we'll get right into it. I have a game that was already started, which is great. I was playing as the Pan-Asian Corporation. Production, while maintaining good. That's one of the revolutionary things, or one of the things that they finally came back to after Alpha Centauri with this iteration of the game, is the ability to influence the environment, influence the alien life that's actually on the planet, which is pretty cool. Okay, so you can see here I have 2 cities here and a 3rd city up here. I've got a couple trade routes going with, pardon me while it loads a little bit. A couple trade routes going with some of the other outposts. These are very similar to city-states, but they don't have as much political sway as they would in a typical civilization game. You can see that there isn't even a diplomacy area for any of the outposts. They're just there to trade with. You can, in fact, come up with situations where you'd be asked to go take one out, destroy one, or support one if they had some financial issues or something like that. So here's our diplomacy view. You can see that in comparison to the other civs, I'm not doing terrible, but I'm definitely not the best. I have a couple of wonders, but so did everybody else. I'm doing fairly good as far as the harmony aspect of it. I'm the furthest along that path. Didn't choose the easiest difficulty, but definitely not the hardest one. Alright, so despite the fact that I was going harmony and wanted to be
move it to a safe location and order it to fortify until healed.
Wanted to be harmonious with the native life, I did end up being forced to attack them on a regular basis. Just turn the volume down a little bit. Right. Check out with my Explorer a little bit, see what's down in this area. Oh no. So it's looking like my gunman might get destroyed pretty quickly. Alright, cool. So I have a new virtue to pick from. I've been focusing mostly on the industry, but I did go ahead and pick up the first in adaptive tactics. I thought that the plus 50% XP in combat is amazing. These others, might be helpful later on. This would be a pretty good one. As you can see, my health here is not too solid, so actually I think I might actually push towards that. Health is kind of like happiness in the other Civ games, but it's much harder to maintain. It's like prosperity later on has some pretty good perks into maintaining a healthy place, but the initial growth can be a little bit hard. Let's see if there's any. See if there's any other health options I have down here. That's not a bad one, but that that could take me a little while to get there.
You do this because you don't want to forward jump.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and push for that. Two more virtues, and I should be able to get to that, which is much faster than going any other way. So I'm gonna go ahead. Another cool thing. This is kind of like your ideologies, but one cool thing that they've added is the ability to combo them. So you've got these synergy bonuses here. You can see that I've unlocked this synergy bonus for industry, and this one over here for tier 1. If I continue down across the board, I would unlock more synergy bonuses here, and so on and so forth. So you can see that it's really designed much more to pick and choose, go through it in any way that works best for your gameplay. A lot more diversity in how you could play on any given moment. Since we're talking about that, I'll go ahead and pull up my tech tree, if I can remember where that is. It's pretty new. Virtues.
Phaser. Got him. Wait, no, I didn't. He's out front. There you go.
Here's tech tree, of course. So, and you can see the tech tree is more like a tree. It's really branches out in all directions. They call these branches the primary techs, and then leaves on the secondary techs here. Each branch is much faster to get to, but then the leaves take a little bit longer to go out. So 20 turns for that tech, and then 30 turns for these ones. So again, you still have your advisor telling you what they recommend, but there's a lot to go, and you can go in a lot of directions. You end up being able to upgrade any number of techs all at once, whereas in Civ 5, for example, it was much more linear, much more progressive as time went on. This is, a futuristic race, futuristic civilization, so you have a lot more just divergent tech research. So I have a worker up here. Go ahead and build a road out to this new settlement of mine, this new city. And then he's going to go ahead and improve there. I've got a little bit of improvements around these cities. You can see that some of the resources are pretty interesting. Like this is a little crab-looking guy here, and I built a paddock for him. That's very interesting. The farms are quite pretty. The game in all is very beautiful in the way that they designed it. So I'll go ahead and play on a little bit and see what kind of action, what kind of trouble we can get ourselves into. This guy's probably going to die if I don't move him, so I'm going to go ahead and run away. It's a ranged unit, so he doesn't actually have a lot of HP, a lot of armor. Should probably get myself another armor unit out there. Alright, you can see trade caravan, pretty common with trade caravans. Got quite a few options. Interesting thing about trade caravans for this Civ is that they're very restricted by where they can go based on this ambient kind of, well, they call it miasma, so it's like this fog, this gas that's native to the planet, and it's very difficult for your units to travel through it. They get damaged, and your trade caravans can't actually go through those areas. So you need to either remove it in some way before you can actually create a trade caravan to whatever place you're trying to go to. So right off the bat, you get these abilities, the ability to send your trade route to your own cities and get an amazing amount of resources back and forth from it, or send it to another station out there and get a great amount of resources from that. So I think I'm going to just go down here and help out my new city a little bit. Let's see. Do I in fact have enough money to buy another one? Wouldn't be a bad thing to have. Trade convoy, I do, so I'm going to go ahead and buy another one and get that going. Next turn. So the native life here is pretty interesting. There are several different types of life forms that will go ahead and attack you or defend their mound. This is a hive. Actually, I don't see a hive, so he just went ahead and killed me anyway. Usually they're only defensive around their hives, but chances are I have attacked them enough that they were angry at me or distrustful of me, so they went ahead and attacked me anyway. So each one of your cities only has a certain number of trade routes available. So I'm going to go ahead and move this to my other city here and establish a new trade route. Something that's interesting about this game that Civ 5 didn't have was, is that the native life on the planet actually upgrades with you much better than you would expect. Much better in Civ 5. As your tech bonuses go up, the AI or the tech bonuses for the native population, the aliens on the planet, goes up considerably. Alright, so I'm actually going to build an armor unit. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and build an armor unit. Might be able to push back some of the native population a little bit better. Kind of interesting, going harmony, but still not too symbiotic relationship with the native life. You can see here this unit ended up in a square with miasma on it, and he just took 5 damage just for running into that. I did notice that there is an ability to create a miasma condenser. It's a satellite that you can launch into space, and it'll actually create miasma in that area that it's at. You can see here, this is the satellite view. Very interesting thing about this game that you didn't have in Civ 5, obviously, is the ability to launch satellites and control them in certain areas. So you can create like a solar condenser that creates extra energy, which is like your money in this game, or a miasma collector that pulls all the miasma off the ground or puts it there. Add little, there's a little technology web. Alright. I'm going to go ahead and heal this guy up. Alright, my old trade route. Let's see if I can go ahead and push this to another place. I had it go into Farbase 1, which it's an amazing amount of money per turn. I think I'm going to go ahead and continue to do that. Alright, establish new trade route here. These are decent, to other civs, but again, they always get energy and science in return for it. So pushing it back and forth to your own civ, your own cities is a pretty good bonus. That's the best bonus right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that one. And there was an upgrade. There was a quest choice that I had earlier that allowed me to put a repulsor fence on my trade routes, so they are now completely immune to the native life, which is fantastic. I don't have to worry about guarding them unless an enemy unit moved into the area, something that you never had an option to do in Civ 5. This is just an enemy explorer. Someone completed a wonder there.
Your explorer has noticed something strange nearby. It could be a ruin.
So there's an artifact there, which is interesting because that's actually in an enemy territory. So I wonder if that's even going to be possible. Probably not. See here, the mountain ranges are very interesting. It's not really a mountain at all. This is impassable territory here, and it's just rifts in the ground. It's pretty cool. All right.
Hey Paul, do you have transporter? Yep. Okay, so we can have one person.
A lot of stuff going on around us.
Another person throw down
Heal this guy up. Workers finally arrived. Sure, let us work together.
and we're done.
Oh, glad to be friends with your friends. Originally, when I was having to clear out a lot of the alien nests, some of the other civilizations got a little upset at me and called me up and were like, "Why are you attacking the native population? It's not good for us, not good for planetary business." So it's kind of interesting that they noticed what I was doing and wanted me to do something about it. All right, so covert ops, that's like spies in this game. They I got those relatively early. Got 3 of them right off the bat, which is very interesting. And you can choose to do different things with them. So these ones were, yeah, these ones were stealing money. Okay, so I failed to get money from an enemy. I was able to steal it from one, so he got an upgrade. So go ahead and go in here, and so currently I have my covert ops at the headquarters doing propaganda, which increases the health per agent by 2%, which is pretty good. But what I think I'm going to do is actually assign this to another civ and see if I can steal something from them. Yeah, why not? Assign him there. So he's going to take 2 turns to travel there, which is a lot faster than if I assign this guy there. This operation here, I can see what I want to do. Steal some money, steal some science, straight up steal a technology. If I wanted to
Apparently I could open the hood.
steal basically recruit a military,
Oh. That's where she
crash satellites within 5 hexes of their city. That's pretty cool. Claim control of the city. That's amazing. But you can see these require a lot higher level intrigue to do. Dirty bomb. Reduce the city's population by half. Call a siege worm. Activate a harmonic device which tracks a siege worm to the city. That's something that I will eventually be able to do if I continue down the harmony side. Or pillage all improvements within 3 tiles of the city. It's very interesting. So, but all that said and done, I'm going to go with the science one. Tech is always good. So it's going to take him 19 turns to try to steal some science. Not stealing any technology, just science towards what I'm doing. So I think I'm actually going to assign this to another civ as well. There we go. So you can see that I just assigned him. Takes him 2 turns there. He's only at level 1. It's going to take him 4 turns to do that. Choose a production here.
Your village was ever ruled
Open
by
borders, no thanks. I like you, but not that much.
Every time I look over, Cloud drives a car on the bridge. Seen him do it like 3 times.
Yeah. Uh-oh. That's not good. So one of my spies was caught. I wonder if that means I lost him. Oh, that was last turn. Yeah, that's why he wasn't able to actually steal the money.
Street Fighter, we got Titanfall, we got Saints Row, we got Simulation. Ready to do this? Let's rock and roll.
World is going to war. It's a good looking city right there. Alright, finally arrived. My worker. Repair little stuff. Alright, my armor unit ready to roll out. Alright, just as I suspected, he is not going to be able to move into that territory. And now I'm blocked off by some bugs. Wow. Construct a factory. Manufacturing. +5. But -2 health. I cannot handle that. Really need to figure out how to do something again about my negative health. Keep getting worse and worse. Population increases. Keeps getting worse and worse. Alright, so they've arrived, and that means they can now do what they want to do. No, he's close on my continent, so I'm going to go ahead and establish a network there. Alright, steal some money. Money's always good. Alright. My explorer can finally get out and do something. Now attack jets available. It's quite interesting. Alright, war is going on. This is the capital where the war is happening too. It's not good. Not good for him. Combat rovers, it's not too bad. Slavic combat rovers. This is not boding well. Not when your capital is surrounded by enemy units.
3, 2, 1.
All right, let's see if my armor unit can do any better. Does take a lot to take out a city. And with these siege units right there. Oh, and tac jets. That's not going to be good for them. Yep, and reinforcements. African Union. Oh, but siege units in from ranged units. That's not going to be too good. That's a bad move. AI still shows some of the problems. That's a pretty good location for a city. So against my better judgment, I'm actually going to embark this unit and see if I can find some place for him to go. Meanwhile, let's see if I can kill some bugs with this armor. Just so that they stop bugging me. Alright, back to research. Let's see if there's something I can do for my health. Increase health by 20%. There we go. Health. 18 turns from now. It's a long time, but it's a lot better than 57 or something else. So. Yeah, you can see there that it affects pretty much at every facet. Reduces the culture, reduces the science. The tech tree, I think, is going to take some time to get used to. There's a lot of different things to go. That's something that I'll need. I have a lot of float stones around my cities, but one thing at a time. Straight up +3 health. Ooh. 26 turns, that might actually be worth it. Tough choice. Okay. Because it's quicker, I'm going to go ahead and go with Bionics. Get those two. Get the Bio well. Get that plus 20%.
Mining stays back.
Yep, see, AI doesn't think about things like that. You're within range of the city. You are in the water. You are going to get blown up. Embarked units easily blown up.
Speaking of which,
All right, my armor unit's definitely holding its own up here. Gained a veterancy upgrade. There aren't quite as many. There isn't quite as much emphasis on the upgrades per units, which makes each unit a little bit more expendable. So you can see here that all my options is a disciplinary upgrade, which is a permanent 10% strength and range strength in combat. So it's pretty much across the board for every unit. That's what I've seen. But then as your affinity increases, as your harmony increases, I should rather, you gain the ability to upgrade your units more and more. So I don't know. Ask Brian.
What are you guys gonna do? Are you gonna bring some back? No idea what
All right. So this one unit was able to take out these two by himself. It's pretty solid.
Peppers and spicy.
You're in charge of my dog.
Something maybe like a tandoori chicken. Dog! He comes.
Come here.
He's like, my mom's leaving.
Oh no, more growth. Nothing to it but to hurt my other. Oh man, hurt my health. Oh, see? It was worth it to go out there. Some more upgrades over here. How the African Union's doing? Yeah. Killed all of his enemies. Oh, what happened here? Agent has failed to establish a network, but was undetected. Okay. He's a low level, so I'm going to go ahead and try the same thing again. 5 turns. See what we can do here. I don't have the necessary upgrade, necessary tech to do that. Go build a farm there. Got a resource pod. Got a free solar collector. So this is interesting. You get to see this. So I got a free solar collector that I can launch into orbit.
Launch your bomb in orbit.
So brings me up into the satellite view, so I have full access of the whole satellite range, and I can launch it into this vicinity and anywhere I want. So I'm gonna go ahead and launch it right here, into the city. So every tile here is gonna get an upgrade to the amount of money that comes from it every turn. They pieced out. And an archaeological site. So we can go ahead and do an expedition there. Set that up. It's pretty interesting graphics. I like that. Cool. All right. Well, turning in for a little while. Tune in to the channel for further gaming from everybody else here that's doing the fundraiser. Thanks for viewing and enjoy Beyond Earth.